Yes, people, how we doing? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Seek Beats. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about how to visualize a piece of music in your brain and then how to help it surface and become what it needs to be. Before we get into it though, please remember, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and that'll tell you when I've got more videos up. We're currently in season 2 of Seek Beats. I think there's 33 videos in the first season. Now we've moved on to this one. Things are getting a little bit deeper. So let's go. I have an exercise for you people. So I worked with a guy called John D, who is a name on the hip hop scene. He's well known. He works specifically in theatre productions. He has a lot of acting techniques and things to develop characters and scenes. He taught me a technique when he hired me to perform in a theatre piece. And it was basically, we had to come up with a character and we had to create 50 points about that character. What do we know about him? So, for example, he has a car, he lives in a small house, and all these things. And we built up, Johnsy told us to build up 50 points. Now, once we'd done that, we kind of felt like, yeah, we know this character better, we know something about him, and felt like I knew him quite well. And then Johnsy turns around and says, right, I want 50 more. What kind of car does he drive? Is it in good condition? Is it his car? Is it his mum's? Whereabouts is his house? What area is it in? What town is it in? Is it a poor area? Is it a good area? And it helped us further build this picture. Now, my point is, when you're working with beats and making instrumentals and making tracks, full tracks even, it's good to picture the environment that music will sit in. If you can picture that environment and describe it in detail in your head, then it helps inspire your motivation to get your product out there. There's a lot of issues that people have about, there's people who suffer from perfectionism and never being happy with stuff, or they have self-doubt and they're not, they fear being judged. It all ties in together. But what we do know is when we have clarity about something, we understand it better. When we understand something better, we feel more inspired and motivated. Inspiration is the fuel of motivation. If you are not motivated, you're not inspired. So you go and look for inspiration. So what I'm saying is, when you imagine a piece of music that you want to achieve, I'm going to make a chilled beat today. So what environment would that music sit in? Paint the picture in your head. How do you imagine it when it's feeling its best or feeling how it should do? And I do that with beats. So the beat what I wanted to make, I was listening to some Jurassic 5, and I was reminiscing about going to see them in Leeds, and they did a brilliant show. It was very energetic, very head nodding. And I thought, I want to make that kind of beat. So then I pictured it in my head, what that looked like. And when I went to see them, I remember the crowd. I remember the lighting was brilliant. We was in a great position. I remember how it felt. I can remember the speakers hitting me, like the bass hitting me, and the drive. I can remember focusing in on how the people on the stage were moving, and I took it in visually and remembered it. And even listening to the music at home can do the same thing. So before I go into a beat, what I often do is I visualize the environment that beat should be in, according to me, whether that be visualizing the music video or visualizing what it feels like watching people on stage, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then you use the Johnsy D technique of dragging as much information in about those environments, and it'll motivate your beat making because you understand the feel of it better. And it's all about feel. You should be feeling the music. If you're not feeling it, you probably shouldn't make it. It's that simple. So I always remember they had driving like horn sections and stuff like that. So I wanted to find a sample that did that. This is the sample that I found from a funk tune. It already sounds kind of, very driving, very hip hop. The drums sound hip hop, but it's not a hip hop tune, it's a funk tune. So that was the sample I found. I'm just going to turn this up a little bit in my headphones. And then I chopped that sample up and I created this section, which is a retake of the melody that you've just heard. It's chopped and changed to create my own melody. This is what it sounds like now. So it's obviously a bit faster, and then I added this bit. And then I added this. And then I added this. So I've created my own melody. It's got that drive to it. It's still got that aggression. It's still got the funk. It's just recreated. But this is all because I can see clearly in my head how it feels, because I've used the John Z D technique and remembered the atmospheres, how it felt, what it looked like, and it's driving my motivation. So this was a beat that made itself pretty quickly. I created a bass line for that particular part that sounds like this. Very simple. So the part you just heard basically is the verse music. Over the top of that verse music, I added these, which are from a completely different tune. Sounds almost comedic. And then I added over the top of that these parts. So look. Added those over the top. Then I played some keys on my keyboard, which sound like this. For the hook music, for the chorus, I did a straight loop. So the verses are chopped and rearranged. The chorus is the straight loop, what you heard at the beginning. Nothing more to it than that, with these extra bits added over the top. There is also this part in the hook. It goes like this. This again is from a different tune. So you've probably got 4 different tracks contributing to this beat, and different sections of them, but it all works well together. There is some scratches on there from an old tune I did with Woody that I've just layered on there just so you can get the feel of what it's like with cuts on there. And we'll have a look at the drums now. The drums sound like this. Kick drums first. First layer of hi-hats. Second layer of hi-hats. Snare drum. Loads of reverb. I also, I don't usually really work too much in the 96 BPM range, but I do like rapping at that speed, and I love some bangers that sit at that speed, but it's not something I often make, that, but I do love it when I get the chance. This very much, the environment I created in my head when picturing this beat, it made me want to do up-tempo. It felt like it had to be an up-tempo banger. The introduction is this. And then it's going to drop in. So, I think you've heard every layer there. Let me just check. Yeah, you've heard that there. You've heard the bass lines. I don't know if I showed you the bass line for the chorus music, but that sounds like this. Very simple. And that's about it, along with the cuts. So the idea is, visualize the environment that your music sits in. Can you see the music video already, or can you imagine what it would feel like at the gig? What the both them worlds look like? Well, the way to get more clarity on that is use the John Z technique and see it in greater detail. Keep adding detail to what you're visualizing, and you'll get a clear understanding. You'll get a familiarity. Is that how you say it? Familiarity. Blah, you know what I mean? Familiarity. And it'll feel comfortable and stuff. And it's much easier to make music when you can visualize what it looks like. So that's about it. This is my beat in the J5 style, Jurassic 5 style. Completely motivated by them and listening to the album and stuff. So let's go.
We taking over. We're here to get a hardcore what they looking for. Put it down with my fam.